YouTube, my name is Sven. Welcome to the Metal Foundry. This is a very special video for me personally. This is the very first rig rundown that I've done with a different band, with a band that's growing, it's getting more and more famous, with very talented guitar players. I've had a little chat with Cobra The Impaler, the two guitar players at least of Cobra The Impaler. They played in a venue at 400 meters from my door. I'm very grateful that the guys took the time out for me to answer my questions and to have a little chat. It has become also a big an interview about their gear, their guitars they're using, and about the way they write songs. So without further ado, just let's dig in and enjoy. Hell yeah!
Yes. So I'm sitting here with Thijs, guitar player for Cobra The Impaler, and also the founder of the band. So
yes, thank you.
We just did did a rig rundown, but we had to move here to the backstage to make room for the other bands. So
yeah, too many bands.
Yeah, too many bands. Yeah, can you tell us a bit about yourself, about where you come from? And so, yeah.
Yeah, I've played in quite some bands, and my first band was Aborted, that's a Belgian death metal band. And then I moved on to the rock scene, played in a rock band called Horse on Fire. And then playing in that band really started to miss like heavy music, and that's why I started writing riffs, recording riffs, and that's how I created Cobra The Impaler.
Nice.
So and then I'm also in another band called Predatory Void.
Yeah, saw that already.
Yeah.
Yes, cool.
Yeah.
Both bands sound completely different, but sound absolutely great.
Thank you.
You've paid a lot of attention to your guitar tone, apparently as well.
Yeah.
So, can you tell us a bit about the gear that you're using? Could you start with the guitars, for example?
For Cobra, I'm using Jackson guitars. I'm also endorsed by them. I really love those guitars. Growing up in the 90s, Jackson was like an iconic bands like Megadeth, Slayer, Sepultura. They all were playing Jackson guitars, and watching your idols playing them, it kind of stuck to me. So that's why and I also love playing them. Not only the aesthetics, but really great guitars. So yeah, for Cobra I only do use Jackson guitars.
Yes. What kind of pickups did you choose for your Jackson guitars?
It's a combination. Some of them have like Seymour Duncan JBs in them, but my main guitars have DiMarzio Super Distortions in them.
Nice, cool.
Yeah, I really like those as well. That classic vintage metal tone. I really like it. Yeah.
Then, because the one that particularly popped into my eyes, like the blue one, the sparkle blue one with the white pickups.
Yeah.
That's the one you mainly use.
That's my main guitar. Yeah. I use it like every show. I use it. I love the sound. I love the way it looks and the way it plays. It's like for me my main guitar. Yeah.
Awesome. And your amplifiers, because the first time I saw you guys playing was last year, and you played with a Friedman, BE100.
Yeah, that's correct.
But now I've seen two EVH.
I have many amplifiers and tried a lot of amplifiers, bought a lot of amplifiers, and I really like the Friedman, but I also like the EVHs that I'm playing right now. They're basically like hot rodded Marshalls, because that's like my favorite amp, all-time favorite is the JCM 800.
Yeah.
As many players prefer that amp, but then it's not really versatile. It's especially in a live situation. It's better to have different channels in one amp. So that's why I'm using the EVH, because they have like an amazing gainy tone. They're really powerful, but they're also articulate, and you can hear like everything that you're playing. It's like the perfect amplifier to use. So the last year it's my main go-to amp. It's like the EVH.
Are you using both at the same time?
No, it's just a spare. It's one head. It's 100 watt. It's more than enough. It's 3 channels. I use it clean. I use the second channel for my rhythm tones, and then the third channel for leads.
Yeah.
And I really, really love it. I also use it on the album, combined with an old JCM 800 from 80, 9080, and then and 2203 JMP Marshall also.
Wow.
From 78. and then the EVH, and then that was like a good match. And we also tried like I have the Freeman that I used live. We also did some bits with that amp, and then Diesel VH4.
Oh
also,
yeah, wow.
Also like that amp a lot. I also played some shows with that amp. Also love it, but for me the EVHs are the most versatile, and they sound amazing. Our front of house engineer, he's also like really like that amp. I took it to a show in Liège, and he was like, "Oh, you have to keep on using that. That's the one." So
whoa, wow, cool.
That helped me convincing to make a decision, and right, I'm going to stick with the EVH.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm also being endorsed by Jackson. It's also the same company.
Yeah.
So Jackson EVH, they're also in. I have an endorsement for EVH as well.
Oh, nice. And the one, you have an EL34 model.
Yeah.
But you also had the other one with the EVH colors, like the red and the black one.
That's
is a special edition.
6L6 tubes in them. I prefer the EL34 because it's a bit more Marshall-y.
Yes, that's why you're.
Then 6L6 is a bit more gainy even.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting for a new EL34, and in the meantime I'm using the 6L6 as a spare.
Okay, because is that a special edition? The one
it
with
is,
the colors?
It's, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And then what I also noticed, your caps are firing towards the back. You're using a Mesa Boogie oversized one.
Yeah. That's for me personally, the best cabinets there is. I also love their amps, but the cabinets are insane. The way they sound, they're really articulate, really tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially in the low end as well.
Yeah.
Then also like James has a complete different setup. You're a guitar player. Mm-hmm. You still stick with a big pedal board, like.
Yeah. I'm old school, so yeah. You
awesome.
can tell by my rig that it's also old school. Yeah.
Well, I'm completely the same point of view. I'll still use pedals and still think. Mm-hmm. The ones. Can you tell us a bit about your signal chain? How you set it up?
It's quite simple. I have like a volume pedal to like kind of control my gain to control gain stages,
mm-hmm.
to clean up the really crunchy gainy rhythm channel bits, and then I have a wah-wah, and that's a Kirk Hammett wah that I really like, and then I have a POG that I use in some choruses in one of the songs, and then an EQ pedal, and then I have like the two, can't remember the name of the delay and the reverb. Big Sky and the Time Man from Strymon.
Yes.
Because I have like multiple delays and multiple reverbs that I use throughout the set.
Those have become a household name for delay and reverb pedals. So.
And then, but the gain stage, and that's all coming from the amplifier. So I'm using the channels on the amplifier.
So no boost pedal in the front?
No, because I have a third channel on the EVH, so that's more than enough.
Nice. And do you also use noise gate?
Yeah, I do. I have a 14 Zool Plus, but that's in the effects loop in the back of my EVH. And I can control it with, there's on the pedal board from the foot switch from EVH has a switchable effects loop on and off button, so I can put it on and off.
Oh yeah, nice.
Which is nice, like in the cleans, I just put it out that it doesn't affect my clean sounds.
Okay, and then but your delay and your reverb, is it going in the front of the amp or in the back on the delay?
It's in the chain. It's not in the effects loop. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only the gates that is in the effects loop. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a different way of working, but still sounds nice. I think.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much for the explanation about your rig. It's very, very thought through. I think I have the feeling, and you really know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I really love working on sound, and I think band has to sound amazing. I don't like bands with shitty sound.
And where do you start? Do you start from a certain sound in your head, or where does it come from?
Yeah, it's basically like based on the sound that we created on the album, and which is mainly Marshall. So yeah, that's kind of the state of mind. Yeah.
Cool. And any news for the future for the band?
Yeah, we're working on the second album right now. So we're going to record it sometime fall, and then should be out beginning of 2023 sometime, yeah.
24.
24,
Yes.
yeah. That would be really ambitious. 24, exactly.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, cool, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, cheers, thanks.
And look forward to hear from the future. And yeah, maybe you can do one for Predatory Void in the future as well.
Yeah, always welcome. Yeah,
Cool,
absolutely.
cool. Let's keep in touch. Thank you, man.
All right, thank you.
Hey.
Thanks.
So I'm sitting here with James from Cobra The Impaler and Bear.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm really happy to be here. Yeah, I've never actually played this venue before, so I'm...
It's first time.
Yeah, so I'm really excited because its soundcheck sounded pretty darn good.
Yeah, we did a B-roll recording on stage, but then we had to move over to the backstage because the other bands have to set up as well, and you don't want to be at socials. So
yeah, I don't want to be that guy that's taking all the space.
Absolutely. So, hey, can you tell us a bit more about yourself, where you come from, and what?
Well, I'm originally from the UK, but you probably picked that up from my accent.
Really?
Wow, what a surprise. I've been in Belgium for most of my life, though. Moved to Antwerp when I was about maybe 20. And I've been playing in bands for a very long time.
Awesome.
Maybe not that long, but
so
long enough. Yeah, I was lucky enough to be picked up by the guys from Cobra when they were starting out. And before that, well, I still play in Bear. And those two bands are kind of my main things at the moment. I played in another band called Mankind as well, which we started with the other guitar player of Set Things Right, which is my previous band from back in...
Yes.
Yeah. When did we stop? 2017, I think it was already.
Yeah, because I played in a band together with Anthony from Titans.
Yeah, indeed. Wow. Yeah, I think I remember doing an interview with him about gear a long time ago, and he bought he's bought quite a few guitars off me as well.
Yes. Yeah. He's just like me, and also like Thijs, but he's like a gear maniac.
Yeah, I mean, if I had the money, I would be as well.
But you, because there's a big contrast between the both of you. He plays with a very big rig, and you play actually with a very compact solution. Actually.
Yeah, I like to see it as he's kind of got the big boy rig, and I'm, well, I don't know. I'll say minimalistic.
Yeah.
I like the kind of minimalistic vibe of what I'm doing. The thing is, I used to play on heads like real amps for a very long time, as everyone did at some point. But I think I have like trauma from my amps never working the way that I want them to work, or having issues with my pedal board, or having issues with something. To a certain point where I was like, well, I just want simplicity, and I want something that sounds good, that will get the job done, and will save me time in terms of setting up. The only thing that I sacrifice with that is that Des has an amazing rig. Every time I see it, I'm always sort of like, I wish I had that, but I don't envy him having to pack his shit down all the time.
Yeah. But weren't you endorsed by EVH as well in the past one point?
Yes, I worked with EVH briefly. It was actually during the pandemic, because I kind of had this phase where I kind of decided that I wanted to play amps again, which, I mean, honestly speaking, I would love to play amps even now as well. Mm-hmm. It's so cool, and it sounds great, and you know exactly what you're getting when you're playing on one. But in terms of practicality, it's just nothing beats what I'm using right now. And as much as I would love to have like the full-on rig, still it just didn't really work out. And maybe someday in the future. I've been talking to other brands recently about working together that I can't really talk about yet.
Yeah, no, because I see you play with Quad Cortex from Neuro DSP, right? Yeah. What's your experience with that, and why did you choose that typical modeler? Because
I used Kemper for a very, very long time, at least 5 to 6 years, and it was great. But then I switched to the floorboard version of the Kemper, and that was awful.
Okay.
It would freeze all the time. I'd have nothing but issues, and I almost lost faith in kind of the digital modeling kind of thing for a while, because it was so bad that it was just, I was like, well, I might just go back to amp heads. Yeah. Then the Quad Cortex came along, and I gave it a try after trying, a few different other things, and it just stuck for me, and it's never ever let me down. Touch wood. there's no wood. Wait, there's wood here.
Yeah, there's wood.
Yeah, it's never let me down. I've had it for, I think, up to 3 years at this point. Maybe pushing, I don't know how long it's been out for. As long as it's been out. Neural DSP are a really cool company. I have a lot of respect for them. I don't actually work with them in any capacity, although I would love to.
Small hint, yeah.
Yeah, if you're watching, please endorse me. No, but I mean, they're a great company, and they really do, appreciate the people that use their products. But of course, you can only work with people that have. I'm certainly not by any means a big fish, and I'm appreciative of any brand that wants to work with me, but it's just a brand that works, and I've had no issues with them, and I can't see myself really using anything else right now. Maybe that will change sometime in the future. But
yeah, and then but how do you? Because you also use a classical cabinet, I've seen, right? Yeah. Use Marshall cab.
So for Cobra, I'm using a 1960A cab, and we flip it to avoid any kind of feedback issues and keep it isolated. And yeah, I love it. The reason why I run that cab and have it mic'd is because I find it's just a lot easier to get that kind of frequency range that we're looking for within Cobra. Yeah. And with Cobra, it doesn't really need to be as tight and focused as Bear would be, for example. Yeah. Because with Bear, I'm going direct. Yeah. We do power tube cabs, but it's literally just for stage volume. Yeah. And everything is just completely direct. And it's a completely different approach. And what I really like about the Neural DSP is that it can handle both things very, very well. It's awesome. Really surprising. I mean, Des has said multiple times as well that he would like to get one himself for when we do the summer festivals, just purely because it's so practical and it seems to work in any way you want to use it.
And have you ever used the capturing feature to capture your own
amps?
Not
yet, and mainly because I'm just lazy. I really should, because if I could steal some of Des's tones, that would be great. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's I've heard it's a very, very popular thing. I've had friends in other bands that have talked about wanting to do that to simplify their setup, and yeah, I think I'll probably do it at some point. But I'm so happy with the kind of stock sounds that I have now that
What profiles are you running right now? What kind of amp are you using that's built in right now?
EVH 5153 blue channel.
Basically the same as
simple as that.
Yes. Yeah. Cool.
I'm not even running an overdrive in it. I'm just doing. I mean, we'll talk about this in a minute. But the pickup I'm using, all the pickups I use are really high output, so it's
nice.
I don't really feel the need to stick a tube screamer in front of it. It's a really, really simple setup. I mean, it's what I'm running in terms of like a preset is, I'm doing like basically one preset and then a series of scenes. One kind of heavy tone, crunch tone, I have like a clean swell kind of thing, and sort of lightly distorted clean tone, which I believe is just the green channel of the EVH. Yeah,
okay, cool. And then from between the amp, between the Neural DSP and between your cab, you have a power stage, I've seen, right? So
indeed, yes. And that's a really big part of the sound as well, because the Seymour Duncan power stage, 200, I think it is.
Right.
It's flawless. It's so clean, and like you can really just mold it to whatever you want it to sound like, and it's just so easy to get exactly what our front of house engineer needs to get the best possible kind of tone. I love it. It's just so it's so simple. I mean, my entire rig minus the cab is like in one Peli case, and I can take that.
And do you still use the tone controls on the Seymour Duncan as well?
A little bit, yeah. I kind of tweak it just to get, because obviously because we're micing cab, it will sound different every night. Yeah. Still, like you don't have that direct thing where it sounds exactly the same. Mm-hmm. So sometimes things need to be kind of lowered or adjusted accordingly.
Then the beginning of your signal chain, of course, the guitars. Yeah. You have a very beautiful Dunable here, I see.
Yeah. So this is like my pride and joy. Now, I actually got this last week. Yeah, it's a Dunable Cyclops. It was built specifically for me, which is insane.
Wow.
I've never had that before, so thank you, Sasha. if you're watching. You're probably not, but thank you. Yeah, I love this guitar. It was actually built specifically with Cobra in mind. As simple as possible, one pickup, volume, coil splits, which I barely use, but it's just nice to have. Yeah, I mean it's basically an all mahogany. It's body and neck.
Yeah.
Not even locking tuners because it's super stable.
Nice.
And yeah, it just does exactly what I need it to do. And I'm kind of still probably in the honeymoon phase right now because I've only had it for a week. But
wow.
I fucking love this guitar. It's so cool.
What kind of pickup are you running?
So to be very honest, I'll probably put a bare knuckle in it at some point because it's the company I work with and they're just great. But it's a custom Dunwall pickup. It's a Bigfoot, I think it's called. Their highest output pickup, basically.
Awesome.
It's just really aggressive. I think the guitar player from Will Putney has a Cyclops that's kind of similar, I think, and he has a Bigfoot in his as well. And
okay.
I mean, I have other Dunwalls too, and the Bigfoot just sounds fantastic. It's just super aggressive, but you can kind of really hone in what you want from the tone. So yeah, I love it, but yeah, just for the sake of simplicity and sort of overall quality of sound, I'm going to put like a bare knuckle polymath in there. Because
nice.
I love those pickups, and yeah, they work for literally everything I do. So.
Awesome. Looks very nice, man.
Yeah, cool. Maybe I should show you the other guitar.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, because you brought two guitars.
Yes. Yeah. So this guy over here, it's quite a special one.
Yeah.
I am very, very lucky to be endorsed by Sterling by Music Man.
Nice.
And the lovely people at Algam fixed me this guy and a Mariposa. And I believe there is another Mariposa coming for me, hopefully. Is that right, Steph? Please.
Nice.
No, but so yeah, this is the first one I got from them, and it's I love it. It's such a cool guitar. Plays like butter because it's the Jason Richardson signature.
Awesome.
And yeah, I don't know. It's obviously a lower budget model than the Music Man guitars, but it just plays exactly how it should play. It's good that Tesh showed up at this moment because he thinks it looks like an old man guitar.
Like me.
But no, it's really cool, and I have this set up in D standard tuning right now for Tempest Rising. It's the last song that we play in the set. Bare knuckle Unity pickups, also quite sort of high outputs, really favouring lead playing, which is kind of me and Tess have like a dual lead line in that song.
Nice.
So it works perfectly.
Yeah, and what kind of tuning are you both playing in?
So for the majority of our songs, so pretty much every single song except for one, we have kind of a mastodon-y kind of tuning. It's in. So the guitar itself is in a D sharp standard tuning with a low string in A sharp.
Okay.
Just for kind of octave playing, you're basically playing a power chord and you're getting an octave out of it. And then this guitar is tuned in D standard. Just really traditional. It's not the most ideal thing to have one song that's tuned a half step down. But there will be more songs in the future where we will be using this tuning as well. Like for future material, we're kind of playing around with different tunings, and Tess has come up with some really crazy stuff.
Yeah. He told me that there would be there's a new album in the make. And you're now out because are you also involved in the writing process?
Yeah. So the majority of the writing is Tess because his kind of vision behind the band and his sort of like stylistic sort of thing. It's just so he's worked it out so well, and I'm not really. I don't want to kind of like mess around with that too much. If that makes sense. I'm gonna definitely contribute some stuff here and there. I've already written a few bits and pieces and stuff, and we're just working on how to incorporate it in. But it's sounding really, really cool, and you know, I'm really looking forward to the recording process, because obviously the last album I wasn't involved in writing or recording. I joined after it was finished. But it's been really cool to see the writing process and be able to contribute my sort of spice to it.
Yeah.
Because obviously for Bear, I'm very heavily involved in writing, because I'm the only guitar player.
Okay, yeah.
So in a way, it's been kind of nice to not have to focus on writing, you know, or at least not focus on being the main songwriter in the band. It's a really nice work ethic, and what I really love about working with Des especially is that I've never met a guitar player where I've kind of just so easily had this crazy connection with. I mean, Christoph from my other band, Mankind, is the only other person I know who I've had that connection with, but it just really gels really well, and I feel like we complete each other in sort of like a rhythmic and lead playing way. Like his leads are out of this world, and I know that he really appreciates my rhythm playing, and it just fits perfectly. So I'm really curious what the new album will bring.
Cool.
That stuff.
Yeah, I'm already looking forward to your show, guys. So it's
thanks very much.
Hey, thank you very much for having me here, and it's nice talking to you. And hey, let's keep in touch for the future.
Absolutely.
Cool, man.
Sounds good.
So hey, that's all for the video. And if you have any questions for James and for Thijs, just let me know in the comment section, and I will make sure to get the questions in their mailbox, and I will get the answers back to you afterwards. And also special mention to Thijs and James. I feel humble and honored that you wanted to help me out with this video. So I'm really looking forward to see where you guys are going with your bands and your projects. For the rest, that's all from me this week, guys. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you like the content I'm creating on this channel and you want to help me grow my channel, please subscribe and click the notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new video, which will be every single week. My name is Sven, you've been watching the Metal Foundry, and I'll see you in a future video. Bye!